I've been in hiatus for several months, and in between those moments, I just wanted to disappear. I was so focused on hiding, I nearly let go of things that once made me feel alive. And one of them is traveling.
Cabin disarm doors for arrival and cross-check.
When I decided to end my hiatus and take this trip, I wasn't sure what I was looking for. But arriving in Vietnam felt like stepping into a new chapter I desperately needed. Day one in Hanoi began with a sense of anticipation, even though I wasn't sure if I'd feel the spark I used to when traveling. After checking into the hotel, we went straight to 𝘴𝘰𝘰𝘯𝘨, or as many call it, Buncha Obama. Sitting in that unassuming yet iconic spot, enjoying the smoky flavors of the grilled pork and vibrant herbs, I felt a flicker of excitement, like I was tasting the start of something fresh. Then came Café Giang, home to the famous egg coffee. I had heard so much about it, but tasting it for the first time was something else. It was rich and comforting, a reminder of how small things can bring joy. That moment made me pause. Maybe I didn't need to have everything figured out yet. Maybe I just needed to take it one sip, one step at a time. Later, we wandered to Huan Kiam Lake. The peaceful waters and iconic Hawk Bridge were the perfect backdrop for reflection. As the sun began to set, the color softened, and so did my mind. The day ended with the water puppets, their vibrant movements telling stories of Vietnam's history. It was captivating, a reminder that even the smallest moments can tell tales of resilience and renewal. That night, I went to bed feeling something I hadn't felt in months, a quiet sense of hope. Our second day started with Train Street. Standing by the narrow track, waiting for the train to come barreling through, was a thrill unlike any other. The locals went about their routines, selling coffee, chatting, laughing. Then the train roared past, mere inches away, and in that fleeting moment, I felt the rush of life, chaotic, beautiful, and utterly real.
say thank you and thank you for your coming today. And then thank you for your waiting also, right? Just bring some coffee and waiting for other family. Yeah, maybe I'm down. You know, when you finish the hiking in Cathedral, this means...
Day 3 was all about Ninh Binh, a place that felt like stepping into a painting. We started in the ancient capital of Kowloon, wandering through its temples and learning about Vietnam's deep history.
And at the picture behind you, will show you the timeline of the king.
The quiet beauty of the area made me feel grounded, like I was touching a part of something timeless.
May picture ng...
Next, we ventured to Trang, gliding down the river in a small boat, surrounded by towering limestone karsts, was breathtaking, but also terrifying. I've always had a fear of deep waters, and being surrounded by it brought that fear to the surface. But as the boat moved through hidden caves and lush landscapes, something shifted. I let go of the fear, bit by bit.
There? Okay.
By the end, it felt freeing, like I'd conquered more than just the waters.
I am going to hike with this shoes, with my dress. Can you imagine that?
The day ended with a hike up Ngoc Cave.
Okay, are we ready for this? Yeah, I should be. Binayaran ko to eh. Wait lang, charot.
Medyo mahal. Huwag mong itigil agad. As in, i-stretch mo siya.
It was exhausting. Each step testing my resolve. But the view from the top, worth every drop of sweat. From there, I could see the endless rice fields. Standing at the peak, I felt alive, like the weight I'd been carrying was finally lifting.
Bumalik na ito ko.
Dito ka pa bumili. Ba't siya tinawag na Tiger Tea?
I don't know, don't ask me. Yay!
Congrats.
The most satisfying drinks you'll ever have. 50,000 each. Not bad.
Day 4 began with a long bus ride from Hanoi to Sapa. The winding roads and shifting landscapes felt like a transition, not just between cities, but between two versions of myself. As the city noise faded into the background and the mountains came into view, I felt a sense of calm wash over me, as though Sapa was waiting to show me something I needed. After arriving, We made our way to Vietrekking Cafe. Sitting there with a cup of rich, aromatic Vietnamese coffee, I took in the view of the Fansipan train weaving through the misty hills. The stillness of the moment was surreal, almost poetic. It reminded me how important it is to pause and appreciate the beauty in front of me, something I had forgotten in my rush to hide from the world. By day 5, I started to feel more connected, not just to the places I visited, but to myself. That morning, we set out to explore Cat Village in Sapa, and it felt like walking into a postcard. The charm of the cascading rice terraces, the wooden houses, and the distant sound of waterfalls made everything feel so serene. Wandering through the village, I couldn't help but notice how the locals carried a quiet strength. Their traditions woven into every corner. It reminded me that resilience can be beautiful, even in the smallest forms. We ended the day at White Cloud Coffee and Restaurant. Sitting there with a warm drink, I let myself just be. No rushing, no planning, just taking in the beauty of the moment. Sapa had a way of showing me that healing isn't always loud or fast. Sometimes, it's found in the stillness of a quiet afternoon. Day 6 felt like the pinnacle of the journey, both literally and emotionally. We made our way to the Fansipan cable car, and as it ascended, the world below seemed to shrink.
Pagod akyatin niya?
Wow.
The rice terraces, the valleys, the rooftops, they all faded into a sea of mist. For a moment, I felt weightless, as if all the heaviness I'd been carrying was being left behind with every meter we climbed. At the top, the cloud dragon skywalk stretched before me, surrounded by nothing but the endless horizon and rolling clouds. Walking along it, I felt like I was in a dream, standing above the world, yet more grounded than ever. It was humbling to be so small against the vastness of nature. There was something about being up there, above the clouds, that reminded me of perspective. The things that once felt so overwhelming suddenly seemed so distant, like the mountains below. It wasn't just a destination, it was a moment of clarity. Standing on that peak, I realized this trip wasn't just about seeing new places. It was about rediscovering a part of me I thought I'd lost. The part that feels alive, inspired, and ready to keep climbing, no matter how steep the journey gets.
Bye-bye.
What's after this? After glass bridge, what's that?
Our final day in Vietnam began with a journey back from Sapa to Hanoi. The winding roads and passing landscapes felt bittersweet, like the country was giving me one last glimpse of its beauty before I had to say goodbye. With each mile, I couldn't help but reflect on everything this trip had shown me. Its people, its culture, and the unexpected peace I had found along the way. As the evening drew to an end, we made our way to the airport. The city lights blurred past the car window, and for a moment I felt a pang of sadness. But more than that, I felt grateful. Grateful for the places I'd seen, the quiet moments of discovery, and that spark that had reignited within me. Leaving Vietnam wasn't just about the end of the trip. It was about stepping forward, carrying with me the lessons I'd learned, and a part of myself I had found again.